Good morning, friends, and welcome to Take Two for this Friday, the 17th of August, 2018. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I hope you're gearing up for a great weekend. Well, I want to talk to you very briefly today. I promise I won't keep you long. I don't have any props, I don't have any tools. I just want to share a little tiny something from the depths of my heart today, and that is this. Is there ever a time in your life where the task seems to be never ending? You just don't know how you're ever going to get it finished. Well, let me explain. In recent days, Michael and I took on the biggest project and the most daunting task that we have probably ever taken on in all of our years of marriage. Now, I will be talking about the details of this task a little later on, okay? A little later on I'll be talking about it because there were other people involved in the project. But I'm just going to share a little bit from my perspective of the things I learned by going through this project, and that is this. It was time-consuming, it was rigorous, it was physical, it was emotional, in every way possible that an overwhelming project could be difficult and challenging. Do that times 100, and that's what this project was like for me. As I said, I'll share details later, but I just want to say this. It seemed like it was a never-ending task. Every time we thought that we had gotten to a point where we said, okay, we're almost finished, or this is just about the end, we discovered that there was another component to it, and it wasn't the end. So it just kept going and going and going. And a few times, I can't tell you how many times, it was more than a few, I found myself so overwhelmed and so emotionally strained that I just didn't know if I could go on. Well, first of all, I thank my husband for being my support team because he's the best, and I just love him so much, and my family, and others, and friends. But I do know this. My mother used to say to me, Jeannie, like if I had like a lot of homework or a big project to do, whatever it was. When I think back what it was big and overwhelming back when I was a kid compared to these days. But she would say, there's an old Native American proverb that says, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one single step. And that's where I had to have my starting point, to remember that when I got done with the project, I will have walked 1,000 miles. And guess what? We got to the end and we got to our destination. It was the journey that was the hardest part of it all, that journey. But I do know this. I know that God was with me every step of the way. And if it wasn't for His grace and His patience with me all the times I lost mine, I couldn't have gotten through and reached my goal and gotten to the finish line. So if you feel overwhelmed, if you feel like you have a project that is so big, I remember when I worked for Merrill Lynch way back in the day with my girlfriend Leslie, and we worked she's a secretary and I was a file clerk. I did that for a summer. And I remember there was a whole bunch of people in that office, all sorts. There must have been 50 or 60 executives on our floor, and I had to file for all of them. And that's back in the day when it was paper and files. And I remember running up and down the 43rd floor and carrying all these files. And I remember just when I'd get done, I'd say, great. And I'd go to lunch, come back, and there'd be a new stack sitting on my desk. So I do know that sometimes it just seems overwhelming and you're never going to get to the end. But guess what? Run the good race and you will get to the finish line. There might be a little bit of grumbling. You might step on a rock along the way. You might trip and fall. But get up, brush yourself off, and keep running because that finish line is in sight. I think about that Bible verse that says, run the good race, because in the end, you will win the great prize. So that is what I have done. I've gotten to the end, and we've gotten the prize. But it was hard. It was hard. I'll share more details at a later date. But I do want to encourage you to go out, be a blessing to somebody today. Come alongside somebody who might be in the middle of a never-ending task. And you go be an encouragement to them because you might be the only one who shows them love and blessing today. Okay? Go on my YouTube channel, Jeanne Sigler, Jeanne Sigler. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out some of my other take twos, and maybe they will be a blessing to you. I hope they will be. But please hit the subscribe button. And of course, for never ending, but in a good way, great programming, great music, great fun stuff like old time radio. And Chef Michael on the Road could be heard every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I encourage you to tune in and listen to some great stuff at WRMZ.org. Click that listen button. You want to be a blessing, a real blessing to me today after a long, laborious challenge that I've just experienced? Hit the donate button. That's always a blessing, okay? Your safe, secure donation through PayPal will go through. Okay, I love you. Listen, have a great weekend, and don't let it get to you. If you got a never-ending task, keep looking out far in the distance, and you'll see the finish line. And you know what? I promise you, you'll get there. I did. Love ya. See you Monday. Bye-bye.